All right, hello everyone and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here live from Adobe Max in Las Vegas at the Venetian. It is great to be back here with you live and here with you.
It's my favorite hotel, the Venetian.
Is it actually?
In Las Vegas.
This is Valentina Vee.
Hi.
You've probably seen Valentina on multiple live streams already. You may have also heard Valentina's name called out today during my keynote this morning because she has provided motion graphics templates as part of our latest addition to Adobe Stock, which is amazing because on one of the live streams actually you were showing like some of your lower third graphics and some of the style of things that you create for social, and these are some of the things that we're probably going to get to take a look at today.
I'm so thankful that they even asked me. Because I primarily shoot and edit.
Right.
As part of editing, I also offer people like, I can do graphics for you. But
Too modest.
It's not like my main thing that I do. So I looked up the other people who were doing graphics, and it's like, oh, video Copilot.
Right.
Submitted graphics to this.
Andrew Kramer.
Andrew Kramer taught me how to do motion graphics.
I think he taught most of us. Yeah, he's taught pretty much everybody.
Like, how is Andrew Kramer at all in the same category?
It's amazing, right?
It's really nice. Thank you.
No, so we're so thankful. And, of course, being here live in Las Vegas all week, we're going to see really amazing people, amazing creative artists, amazing talents, just really showcasing all the incredible things they do with our products, from Premiere to After Effects to XD and everything in between. So before we even got started, Valentina, I thought maybe we would talk about actually one of your most recent video projects that people can check out today.
Yes.
Which is actually a PSA, for those tuning in from other parts of the world, a public service announcement, which is something which is very, very important to the youth of America, to really anybody, but specifically to the youth of America today, the youth of the world, and it's about
sexually transmitted diseases. Half of people, by the time they're 25, will have contracted an STD.
Right.
It's like a huge statistic. So I partnered with a few people, the American Sexual Health Association.
Right, that's what it was, ASA,
yes.
right?
And a very popular YouTube creator named Shannon Boudram, and we made a video together as part of actually a production house, a new production house in Los Angeles called House of Shameless. And they bring me on to shoot projects every once in a while. So I shot this project, and I choose projects based on a couple of different variables. It's like, either can I travel? Like, will you send me somewhere? Can I travel? Or can I help something and do something that helps people?
Helps people, positive,
and if it's neither of those things, I'm like, I don't need to do it.
Don't need to do it.
Because it doesn't help anyone.
Well, what I think is really interesting about this, and where can people actually go to see this? What's the best URL for them to
The
find
best URL would be the Shan Booty channel, ShanBoody. Not Booty, like her actual last name is Boudram, so it's like short. But that's her YouTube channel, and that's where the video is.
And they can see links on your Twitter account as well.
I've also tweeted and Facebook.
And what's really interesting too, so it's about 11 minutes, right? So this is really it's like a short film. You're detailing a lot of things. It actually has, though, it's really, when I was watching it, it's got your style, really.
Thank you.
There's something very beautiful and very cinematic about it, which when we talked about this months ago, you really, you wouldn't, when you think PSA, at least in this country, they're like,
it's a digital PSA, right? So it's like, it's not your
not a school
typical
film.
And we wanted to really choose hip young people to be in it. That's part of it. It's a huge part of it.
The look, the people in it, and just everything about it just has a very sort of modern edge to it, and I think it can speak to anyone of any age. That's the idea.
One interesting thing about it is that it's sort of, there's a main part of it, which is a conversation between a group of friends, and they're talking about, when do you get tested, and why do you get tested, and did you know these statistics, and so and so. But at the beginning, it's sort of like this highlight reel of them entering this party about STDs, and it's a fun party. And that was, it looks real, but it was very, very staged. Because, I can't be both but in front of a person as they're entering a room and seeing how it's decorated, and behind the person at the same time. So there was a little bit of movie magic involved where I had to ask them to act, and then we edited out all of the bad acting. Hopefully.
Well, and that's what I think is interesting, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, and it is sort of funny that that's the topic when we're here in Vegas, of all places, but is that it's a short film. It's yet another sort of thing in your editing cap. It actually really showcases your style and just a different kind of thing. And it really modernizes something which is, again, as a PSA, still shown in schools, still shown in universities, but it's just so new. And this was something that I think you bring to all the stuff that you do. And,
FYI, just want to put it out there. This one I just shot. I did not edit it. However, I talk to the editors like part of a larger conversation. I enjoy both, and I don't know which one I enjoy more, editing or shooting. This one was nice because I had like 10 other editing projects to do at the time. So it was nice to just shoot it and then hand off footage and just say like, do this with it. Like, this is why I shot this way, and just go. But
it's your look, it's your eye, and that's what, that's kind of another signature of yours.
Thanks, Jason.
So speaking of signatures, how about, so into segues.
You're so cool.
How about we go into some of the motion graphics things that you do? Or actually, what do you have to show for us today? We don't have to start there. This is super informative.
What do I have to show? Okay, well, first of all, I just came from a 3-hour workshop, so my mind is still like, what did I do wrong in that workshop, and how can I fix it for later? But I do want to show you, Adobe Stock is launching motion graphic templates for Premiere, as we said earlier, which is so huge, and I am confused as to why that wasn't a thing before. As you know, Premiere comes with some motion graphics templates already in there, but like this really expands it to the community, and now everyone has access to them. So I want to show probably how you use them in Premiere, and then also how you can create one using After Effects for your own project.
And one of the sort of fundamental differences there, just as you're kind of navigating through the UI for those tuning in, is that so they can be created in both domains. If you watched the keynote this morning, you saw me create some responsive design-based templates on the Premiere side, which are again editable once they're in Premiere. Now, if you want to go a step further and actually do sort of more advanced animation and take advantage of lots of different effects and things like using expressions, they can also be built in After Effects to be used in Premiere. So really, again, the whole concept here is really giving editors this vast library of beautifully designed lower thirds, backgrounds, title sequence intros, and with full editability, but without ever having to leave the Premiere Pro interface.
Okay, so I think I finally know what I'm actually going to do. So I'm going to make a new sequence. I'm going to call this Valentina, because that's my name. This was one of those rare videos where I was actually on camera, which is great because I can use this and then I don't have to get permission from anyone to use it.
Because it's you.
Because it's me.
That's right.
So
model release for you?
Yeah. Don't need a model release.
That's right.
Okay. Doesn't actually matter what I'm doing. Okay, let's just take that.
Okay.
Let's put it in our timeline. So one cool thing I want to show you is what I made for Adobe Stock, and then a few other templates that I'm currently making for Adobe Stock for later.
Nice.
So this is actually 4K, so I'm gonna scale it down. All right, here we go. No, actually,
what camera did you shoot this with?
This was the A7S.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say it's Sony, right?
It's Sony.
You're primarily Sony.
Yeah, I'm a Sony shooter, and that's why it's so gray. Maybe I'll just quickly throw a LUT on it, see what happens. Actually, no. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Hold on. I'll go to Effects.
Is this typical of how you're starting a project?
No, it's just, what,
I'm messing with you. Come on.
You're like, show me something.
You just taught for 3 hours. Yes.
I did.
Create.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. But I am talking through it, so hopefully it's not as boring.
No, there's nothing
as I think it is.
It's not at all. It's not.
Actually, whatever. I'm not even sure.
Were you planning on putting a LUT over top of it?
I don't want to. I don't care.
You're not going to mess with LUTs. Okay.
Because that's not what I'm talking about. All right. So I'm going to go to the Essential Graphics panel, and these are a couple of things that I created for Adobe Stock. So I'll show you the lower third.
Yeah.
And okay, so my pack, I did 5 graphics, and I wanted them to be as simple and clean as possible so that they can be used in any situation. You know, a lot of the other ones, they're like built in interestingly with like, I think one of them has like a bunch of hexagons, or one of them has like a really rugged view. Like I want, if you're a YouTube creator, if you're any sort of, if you run a channel, then you can get my 5-pack and use it.
Lean, clean, a little more general purpose.
Very general purpose.
Easily modifiable. Yeah.
This would be the lower third. You click into it. You can write your name.
And we're looking at ones here that were built in After Effects. And how you know that is because of how the editable fields appear in Essential Graphics, right?
I didn't actually know because I haven't built any in Premiere, so what is the difference, Jason?
So the main difference is when you build them on the Premiere side, you'll actually have a layer stack, a layer panel.
Oh, okay.
And then you apply your animations per layer and effects in the effects
so
controls.
Much like if you're making like native like titles.
Exactly,
Okay.
and that was the idea, is that it was kind of, on the Premiere side, if you use that classic titler,
Yeah.
which you I'm sure had at some point,
Of course.
it didn't feel so unfamiliar.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, you're doing it, and you're animating in the effects controls. It's just that the actual layers contained in the motion graphics template exist in the Essential Graphics panel.
Okay. Well, then definitely you can tell that this was made in After
Yeah,
Effects.
which is awesome.
So here are some sliders. You can change the title size. You can move slightly text, left and right.
Nice.
You can turn the accent color on or off,
Very
depending
cool.
on what you want. You can change the accent color. One interesting thing is, I didn't actually come up with a name on this on Adobe Stock. They called it like blue titles.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's just the default color.
Right,
You can
right. It
change
could
the
be
color.
anything, right.
Why does it? Why it gotta be blue though?
I gotta be blue.
You can turn this on and off. You can slide it down, up, whatever. Customize it however you want. I tried to build in, options.
Right.
So then it's actually, motion graphics, so it's gonna come up.
Nice. Animated.
Simple. It's simple.
Real simple.
All I wanted to do was simple stuff. I could have done complicated things, but I'm like, you know what? Andrew Kramer can do complicated things.
Yeah.
I'll do a simple one.
Now, one thing that I think is worth pointing out too is that, and maybe if we get time towards the end, maybe we can show sort of the authoring side.
Yeah, no, totally.
So again, the fields that you see that you can edit, Valentina chose to make those editable for you. So you can have a bunch of other elements in a template that actually aren't editable by the user by design. Like if it's some kind of, I don't know.
For example, I don't know if they changed it for the most recent update, but right now you cannot edit the font type.
Right.
If you're importing from After Effects.
Right.
So that's something that I chose as a default in this that you can.
Perfect segue there, Valentina Vee, because I was going to say that one key tip, if you are going to be building these, is be sure to use Typekit fonts.
Yes.
Because if you use Typekit fonts...
What if they don't know what Typekit is, Jason?
If you don't know what Typekit is, that's a very good question. So you can always go to your CC desktop icon and
Right
under...
up here.
There we go. Oh, it's installing update.
Of course, because it just launched, right?
Well, here, we can go to...
yeah.
Can we switch to my machine real quickly? And I'll show this. Oh, and we've got Ravi Shankar here. It's my meditation music this morning. Here we go. All right. So if you're looking for Typekit or not sure what Typekit is, if you go under Adobe Creative Cloud Assets, Fonts, and you say something like Manage Fonts, this is where you can select and find fonts from Typekit. Typekit is a font library of thousands and thousands of fonts that you actually have as a CC member, all of which are legally licensed to you.
You have 80 out of 100 fonts? How do you even have that?
Because I had to grab a lot of motion graphics templates while
No,
creating.
I just mean I have like too many.
Oh, right.
I'm running out of room.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. So this just kind of gives you an idea of finding those fonts while Valentina's kind of working there in After Effects. You can scrub through all these. You see you have all different types of classifications. So you can sort by different classifications, by different properties, weight, height, contrast. I think you get the idea here. And then it's as simple as, if you want, say, this realigned font, you can click on this. It'll give you, sort of all the various weights and styles that you then have a choice whether or not you want to actually synchronize. And there's some others I see here now that we actually offer them for a separate purchase. But if I wanted to say sync this Omnis regular, I just click sync like that, and that's it. It's syncing to Creative Cloud. So if I were to build a template with this font and I grab your template and it says, oh, you're missing this font, Typekit will automatically download it and sync it for you. It's really simple. So it's kind of it's a fail-safe. It's a great way to work without kind of having to worry that, oh, I don't have whatever, Trajan Pro, or that's not a great one, but Futura, there you go, Futura. Can't go wrong with Futura.
Sure.
Right. What is your favorite font?
Champagne and limousines.
Is that a Typekit font?
Definitely not a Typekit.
That's not helping me at all. What is your favorite Typekit font?
Oh, Fat Frank.
Fat Frank.
Yeah.
Let's
Look it up.
All right, let's
Find
do something.
it.
All right. In the meantime, while I go and find Fat Frank,
All right.
let's
I'm going to show you
switch
something
back
that
to Valentina.
I'm currently working on. Actually, I finished this one already, but I'll show you how it works and then how I made it. So this is, again, very simple lower third. I'm calling it slide in text. Very, creative. So you put that over your, so it's a lower third, and when you open it up in the Essential Graphics
That's
panel.
beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
A track. So this is how it plays. Very easy. But then you go in here, and I actually have 6 template styles built into this one template. So if you go to the second,
There you go.
there it is. It flips. And then the third one, it has like a little middle split. So it's actually multiple in the same one. There's a 4th one.
Super cool.
There's a 5th one and a 6th one. And they all have a different animation.
So cool.
And then you can type. And you can change the logo. So let's go to this one. And let's see. I'm going to say Jason Levine.
Okay. Very nice. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, at Beetlejace. Is that how you spell it?
You giggling on my Twitter handle?
I love your Twitter handle. Okay, and then I'll give you. That actually looks really good.
That actually looks great.
That's great.
I
Okay.
think we just found my new lower third for my personal live streams now. Very nicely
I'm
done.
going to move it around. So I also
Wow, and
built
a
these
lot of it.
attributes.
You made a lot of editable things.
A lot.
Yeah.
So I built a lot of stuff into it
Yeah.
because after testing it for a while, I'm like, oh wait, I can do so many more things.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take it down here. I'm going to make it smaller. Let's see what we can do. I don't want to turn the background on. Let's see. Oh, I can make the logo square. I can
very nice.
change the line color opacity so that there is no line, but then I can change the opacity on that. Change the logo background color to what color you want.
Let's go with something like this, like a purpley, dark. Yeah.
Dark purple. There we go.
Sure. That's why I'm not a designer. Those are not exactly complimentary.
It's fine. We'll fix it. We'll fix it.
I know. All right, I
We
trust
got
you.
it.
I
Line
trust
color,
you.
we'll do like a light purple. Okay. Oh, never mind. We'll just do white. We'll just do gray. That's fine. There we go. So, I'm sorry. This is annoying. Sorry about this. Okay. There we go. So then it should come up like that.
There you go.
So I want to show you how I made this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to open it up in After Effects. So
Awesome.
there's a lot of layers to this, so let's break it down. Here is my top composition, and it has my 6 styles pre-comp, and then my background pre-comp that you can turn on and off. And then here at the null are all of my controls. So if I go up here to Effect Controls and I look at the null, these are all of the editable fields that I built in to the template.
Very nice.
Right here. So what happens is, when I drop this down, in order to export an editable field from After Effects to Premiere, I literally pick this up, drag it into the Essential Graphics panel.
Right.
Oh, this cannot be controlled.
Right.
Thank you.
Which leads us to a very specific button inside.
Yes, solo supported properties.
Solo supported properties.
What is
yes.
happening? FX Factory really wants me to update. Solo supported properties, and it tells you it should work.
Right. Basically shows you all of the anything that's inside the After Effects comp that can actually be edited. So, and just to be clear there too, it doesn't mean that you can't have something in the comp that can't be part of the graphics template.
For example, like a video or a photo that
Correct.
you want to always exist there.
Correct.
And like, why would you
Right.
move it?
Right. So it'll prevent certain things from being edited. So it's just the supported properties that can be edited by the user in the template.
And there's the supported properties, like if you think about it, anything that can be used as a checkbox,
Right.
so check on and off, like layer, like just check a layer off or on and see if it works. Or, multiple layers and you want only one to be visible at any time. Or anything that can be on a slider.
I was going to say sliders,
as well.
levels, adjustments, things
Levels
like that.
and adjustments. So I mostly used, Okay. I don't want you. I'm so sorry. FX Factory is great. I just don't want it right now.
Yeah. It's not taking the hint. Okay. By the way, while you're that's happening, someone was just asking.
Oh, that's where we can read it.
Yes. Okay. So, no, David, that's not. My background was not from Andrew Kramer's water drop tutorial. That's actually just a photo that I took in Amsterdam a couple of weeks ago. Bouncy icon effect is really
sorry,
cool.
Sergio.
I was giving you anxiety. I actually like that. I like that a lot.
What?
The bounce. Yeah.
No.
Oh, is he not talking about
He's
that?
talking about the icon.
I see. Yes. Okay. That's better. Okay, so we're back in after.
So we're back in that. So that is my main thing. And then if you go into one other thing cool in After Effects is up here in the composition they have like the nesting hierarchy.
Right.
So you can check how it goes. So we're going to go from the sliding text template to the 6 styles that I have. And each style is in its own pre-comp, and there's an expression for hiding or showing it. So if you go into the expression, it'll say that like if this slider, the template style slider, if it's on 1 or anything between 1 and 2, then the opacity of this layer is at 100%. Otherwise, it's at 0%. Anything between 2 and 3, then the second layer opacity.
And so on and so forth.
And so on and so forth.
And that's kind of like how complex you can get with expressions in these things. I mean, these can be really detailed, which is why it's so cool that you've kind of added all this flexibility in there for users and as part of the pack.
Yeah.
So you're really getting 5 in 1.
This one's not part of the
pack. This isn't part of the pack, but in some of the other ones.
In some of the other ones you can also adjust. And I can show you those too. But just to finish with this one.
Yeah.
We'll go into like the first style and we'll see that I actually decided to, because the text has different justifications, center, right, and left, and depending on which of the versions of the template I'm choosing, the text has to be justified. I made an entire pre-comp depending on that. So main text versus secondary text versus the initials, and then where it's justified to. Is it left justified? Is it right justified? Is it center justified? And as you can see right here in all my pre-comps, you can see it all built out. So if I go, for example, into the main left pre-comp, you'll see that I actually have a sans serif and a serif option. And then that is also a checkbox that you can turn off and on. So if we go back into Premiere, I go into here and I turn on the serif option, it becomes serif. So that's one way I was able to work around the font restriction.
And James Lopez is asking, are your templates available to purchase?
So I have a pack of 5 free templates that are on Adobe Stock right now for free.
Yes.
Free templates for free. Yeah.
Some are free, as you may have heard me sing earlier today.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good free templates.
There's a lot of really good free stuff.
There's a lot.
Which is actually a bit shocking for us because we don't normally do, especially on like stock sites, you don't tend to get like good free. There's a lot of really good free templates, and I think part of that too is to kind of entice more designers to ultimately learn and become contributors, because at some point, I don't know if it'll be later this year or sometime early next year, we'll be opening up the ability to actually allow you to contribute motion graphics templates to Adobe Stock as well.
It's gonna pop off, I feel like. Once that happens, it's just gonna explode.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Everyone's gonna want it.
Well, because it's something that everybody needs, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's something that graphic artists have been asking for a really, really long time. So
yeah, I really wasn't kidding when I was saying like I rely on other friends and things to make the. I mean, even I think we talked about this. Even just laying text of my name and a second line and some kind of a logo and sometimes a background gradient bar. It's not that it takes me 4 hours to make it. It's that I just don't even know how to make. I don't know how it's supposed to look good because I'm just not a designer.
Yeah.
So to have this and to have these kind of options with these styles is just so freaking useful.
And I think it's way past due as well. Like again,
totally.
This is incredible, and everyone should use it. Like everyone who's using Premiere Pro should know about this.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So let's see. Yeah, so if I go into it, you have the text, and then my text is actually from another source composition that I made and hid within my main composition right here. These are my source texts, and they're hidden, and you can just see. It's great. So it took me a while to figure this out. But I will say that I did it myself.
Right, nice.
It took me so long.
Right.
But I did it.
So
Very proud.
cool. Nah, this is so neat.
But yeah, the ones that you'll be getting in the free pack that I did are, as far as your question, are these clean ones. So I have, for example, a clean intro. I don't know if they're called like blue something.
Right.
They called it blue for some reason. So this is what the intro looks like.
Oh, wow.
And again, you can change whatever you want in it. You can also change like the opacity of the borders. You can change the style of the shape. I even did a way that you can say you don't want it to rotate clockwise. You can rotate it counterclockwise. You can change a lot of things. Yeah. So what else is going on, Jason?
Well, and it's interesting. So a couple things. We have a couple questions I want to answer. One more thing, though, about motion graphics templates. So if you update today to the latest edition of After Effects and Premiere, now you're still actually running. You're in mid-project, so we aren't going to force you to update.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, and that's good advice, by the way.
I'm mid 16 projects.
You're mid 16. You already said you already had 10 already. So mid 16 projects. Yeah. You just don't update your software in the middle of all that. But one thing that I wanted to point out, so you're seeing how when you drag in your templates, you're getting audio.
Audio, yeah.
You don't have any audio in these. So in today's update of After Effects, when you build motion graphics templates, if you don't have audio, you won't get an audio track.
Amazing.
When the template is exported. So that's
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. We heard that. We know that was like annoying. And if there is audio present, because again, you can have audio, video. You can have Cinema 4D elements, which many of the templates, particularly in the Master Artist collection on Adobe Stock, will have. All of these things can be part of that. So
just be aware though, like the more you put in it, the bigger the file, the longer it takes to load, and depending on your machine.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's great advice, because the templates, and I keep forgetting the limitation, they can either be, I know they can be 1 gig. They may even be able to be up to 2 gigs in size. I don't think you'd want a graphical element to be 2 gigs sort of living in a CC library. It's just not super efficient. Not that you couldn't, not that you shouldn't, well you shouldn't. But probably not the best workflow. And because of that, because your user, your editor is going to have to download those from their library. One other thing that's also new in today's update to Premiere, now I'm kind of amazed at just as you're scrubbing through, the performance is pretty amazing.
Well, I have the newest MacBook Pro.
You do have the newest MacBook Pro, but you're using the last edition of Premiere because what's happening?
I'm not using the newest.
Right, because what's happening here is that it's actually using the same cached frames that you would otherwise, if After Effects were running, be caching via global performance cache and/or a RAM preview. In today's Premiere update, we actually have that whole After Effects engine. It's in Premiere.
No way.
It's actually in Premiere.
Okay, so question.
Yes.
I only have Premiere. Can I still use
motion graphics templates? Thanks for that one, Valentina Vee.
You're welcome.
So, yes, sometimes, not all the time. So, yes, with most After Effects motion graphics templates that were generated that don't have Cinema 4D elements, you should be able to run them without having After Effects installed. 2017's version, you had to have even if it were just a trial, you had to have it installed all the time.
Yeah.
When you start adding Cinema 4D, you need to have After Effects installed. But if they don't have any of those elements and they're just using native After Effects things, you should be able to run it entirely with Premiere without even having After Effects installed, and that's specific to the 2018 version.
That's great to know.
Yeah, really, really cool.
That's awesome. Somebody asked where can you get them? You can get them at Adobe Stock. There's a template tab, and then you go to Premiere Pro templates.
Yep.
And then there's a lot of really good free templates.
Yeah, and here actually, if you want, we can pull up some of the. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to see them too. I was just. Another cool thing is that they have like a
switch back to Valentina for 1 second.
They have a scrub over preview on them, so you can see what the template looks like
really
without
nice.
clicking into it, which is really lovely. Oh, did you find the Fat Frank font that I like?
Fat Frank. I did actually. There it is.
Oh, good. See, isn't it cute?
I like it. It looks.
It's good for social. That's why I like it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a bold Futura a little.
A little bit,
right? I'm not a font person. I don't know fonts by looking at them. Is what I mean. You know what I mean.
I know.
I am a font person. I wish I knew fonts.
Oh yeah, you were talking about You also have
I have font anxiety.
Font anxiety, yeah.
Yeah. So this is what Valentina was talking about. So you can see now these are some of Andrew Kramer's.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it.
Look at these. And if you click on them, just like video or other content in stock, it gives you all of the attributes. It's kind of neat. So again, we actually are using Mogurt as a specific file type. It'll tell you, the frame size, give you some idea about the customizable nature of it. And you can see it's by Video Copilot, Andrew himself.
That's great.
Yeah, these are really cool. This kind of gives you another idea. Again, all these hover previews are super responsive, super fast. And they really, it's very multi-stylistic. Now, if we just go to some of the, so here's, again, if we are in templates, Valentina was mentioning, if we search on templates here, got all these filters, and she was saying, right, so you want to choose for app, you're going to choose Premiere Pro. Here's all the various subcategories. Whoops. So you've got lower thirds, titles and text overlays, transitions, backgrounds, infographics, and social media. Let's just maybe pull up, I don't know, now my machine is still running. Yeah, so it's showing various things here.
Parallax Christmas, what's that?
Which one? Oh, this one. Ooh, very nice. That kind of looks like an Adobe Spark animation or something. That's really cool.
You could use that for weddings. Oh, there's even more going.
There's more.
Wow.
So this is probably a
$20 template.
Yeah. So it's a 6-in-1.
Nice.
So this is kind of the same concept that you were using for your lower thirds. It's 6-in-1, which for $20,
that's great.
It's great. You got a lot of flexibility there. You see custom color options, optimized for Premiere. It's really, there's all kinds of cool things in here.
It's crazy how much variety you can get
totally
in all of this. And
Yeah.
these are, I really like these because they're great for social.
Yeah.
These ones, I think, I know who made this.
Let's see.
It's, Flux VFX.
Flux VFX.
They're really good. And, they're priced the same as on other sites. Actually cheaper, I think, than on
Is that
other
true?
sites.
I was going to ask you, why don't...
Yeah, because there's other stock sites that shall not be mentioned have them for more.
Okay. Yes, I mean, this stuff is...
It's great.
This is like, if
What
you're
if
an
you filter by free only?
Can we filter by free?
I mean, it's just the $1 sign.
Right. Let's see. Yeah, so actually check that out. So these here are showing up as free. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, because he's part of the launch.
Right. So those are actually showing up as free.
Yeah.
This could be my build, I don't know for certain. I mean, this is cool. I mean, again, could I actually animate that in After Effects? Yeah, it'd take me.
Yeah, but why would you want to?
I wouldn't want to. It would be a very painful experience for me.
I'm very jazzed about this, especially, I am somebody who's an independent video creator and I have a lot of clients, and sometimes you just don't have time to do individualized graphics for everybody.
Yeah.
And who needs to know, really? Just use Adobe.
Mm-hmm. So I see now, can you put your own logo in some templates? So,
Good question.
Yeah, so again, now if you were building something like, and in fact I could even show this real quickly. If you were going to build something like your own template in Premiere Pro, here, let me just go ahead and make a test project. I'm going to just stick this on the desktop. It's fine.
Now I know in After Effects you cannot yet,
Right.
but that is a feature that I've been asking for.
Right.
The ability to put things. The
Right.
problem is because you've built it out of After Effects,
Right.
and you have to choose all of those
Right.
sliders and all of those options to export it into a Mogurt file. There is, as far as I know so far, there is no option that you can integrate that has a drop field in it.
Yeah.
So you would have to use After Effects for that. But does Adobe Stock have, After Effects templates, or am I,
No.
Not yet.
No. So, okay, let's see. No, I don't want
Other
downloads. Okay, I don't have any of my external drives for a change, so I'm just going to try and find a piece of video that I can stick in here that may work. It's like, no, we don't want that one. Okay, I'll choose this. This is just so we could just drop something on there. Okay. So just in talking about adding a logo to a template and having it at least, maybe you have multiple logos. Now this would not be something necessary for sale, but this is something that you generate.
Yeah.
And like Valentina's giving me, I'm editing something for Valentina, and we're going to do a couple different variations, and she's got different logos that she wants for different seasonal pages or seasonal videos or whatever it is. Some of your logos are in.
Or if you're if you're a YouTube channel, you have multiple different shows, and each show has its own logo.
It has its own logo. So here we have just this was I've actually shown this on a couple of our streams. This is like a commercial that I built, a rough cut of something I built up for a friend who was doing this adult adventure camp in Alaska.
Oh.
Yeah. So if we wanted to create a motion graphics template that includes some kind of logo element. Okay. Now again, I point out here too, all of these old ones, I guess they're all still in there. They're okay. They can kind of get you started. Really, you're probably better off, checking out some of the new free ones in stock.
Yeah.
I think you're going to find them inherently more useful. But here's just the idea of the process of starting a template. So again, I just took our text tool, which we just introduced in April of this year, and again, I'll just do my name here.
Someone's saying Valentina hair saturation 100, Jason hair saturation 0.
Oh, it is gray, isn't it, Valentina?
It's great.
Great. Oh, that's very nice of you.
Jason.
All right.
Have you ever seen anyone with more wonderful hair?
I don't want Minion Pro, so let's see. I'm going to filter by type. By the way, Photoshop style font filtering in Essential Graphics, new in this release, if people are not aware of that. So you can see now, just like in Photoshop, also you have font preview, which we did not have in the 2017 version, right? So you can filter by favorites.
I do remember that we did not have that, and then I had to just be like, what do I think this font looks like?
Yeah, which was terrible, and I'm sorry that we had to put you through that.
Yeah,
so I like Iskra. I don't know. Okay, that's fine, right? That's legit. Just go with it. So I'm going to use Iskra. I'm not a designer. And
well, because I think of it from like a social perspective, and viewing it on a phone, I'm like, that's going to disappear.
Too thin, fine, bold,
better.
Perfect. I don't know anything. This is why you're here. All right, I'm terrible. So let's just go ahead and I'll stick this. I'm gonna stick this down.
I'm actually really excited to see this.
Oh, yeah.
Because I haven't made a template on Premiere Pro.
Oh,
itself,
nice. Okay. So this is the basic idea. So right now, not that you're gonna, this would be an editable text field, right? This can be anything here in Premiere. And one of the things that we showed today is now with responsive design pinning. So I can say something like, I want this to be pinned to the bottom right. So in perspective, where this is here, if I make a template from this, regardless if that aspect ratio changes to square or vertical, it's always going to appear in that same location. That's huge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first element. Now, in terms of adding a logo, and this is what I was saying, when you build them on the Premiere side, you have this layer stack that you're building up. You've got the familiar Photoshop.
Oh, I know. I think I know what you're going to do. Can I guess? What you're going to do? You're going to put like a box behind it, and it's going to grow with. You could do that too.
Exactly. So, I mean,
okay. You do you. You do you, Jason. I'm just saying.
They're so
that's
bad
really
when
cool.
I do them.
No, that's really cool for me because I saw a demo of it, and that you can put a like a box.
A bounding box, whatever, anything.
Box behind the text. To separate your text from the background, or for social, people do that a lot, and make a template in which the box grows with the text that you input. And no, you know what's weird? Because I had to figure out that expression from scratch on After Effects with the previous version, and with this version, it just does it. And I spent like a day trying to figure that out. So,
So you see, there's no surprise to them that I don't design these things myself. I'm just trying to make a point here. So, and that box, actually here, we'll even shrink this up a little. All right. And then we're gonna add the logo in there and just show where that happens. So the idea is that not only can you pin, say, one layer to a position on screen, in this case, the video frame, but you can, so that's pinned to the video frame here, but the shape can be pinned to the text
that layer.
Right. So that
Nice.
it will shrink and grow
Nice.
accordingly, which is really nice. Okay.
So it's like parenting and
It's exactly
in
like
After Effects?
parenting in After Effects. That is kind of that's sort of the fundamental stepping stone. Because parenting in After Effects, once you get it, parent-child relationship, it makes sense, but it's a little bit easier here, right? It's just because it's really simple.
It's user-friendly.
User-friendly. And then at that point, if we wanted to do something like add something else, like a logo, here's where we could do from file, and I'm gonna hope I've got some.
So where'd you go in the top right corner with
So
the
it's
little?
the
okay, got it.
new
Yeah.
new item icon
page
here,
turn
which we
icon.
also have. It's down here somewhere
Yeah.
in the project panel, right here.
Yeah.
And here, let's go to. I have one of my logos somewhere from one of my random shows.
You guys can't see this, but we're like in the middle of the exhibition floor,
Yeah.
and there's so many people looking at us.
Okay, let's see.
He's used to it. I'm not.
That's right. Oh, come on now.
No.
Oh, whoops. So once again, I just brought in a ping file of my Jason's Places logo, showcased last year
Cute.
at not designed by me, designed by a
Okay.
fantastic designer named Mark Woloschuk. All of this positioning is horrible. I am the most barf-tastic motion graphics template designer in the world.
And you constantly have to show it. That's the fun part.
I constantly have to show how terrible I am at it.
Like it's literally your job to.
It's literally my job
show
to show
people.
how bad I am at doing this.
Good job.
Thank you.
It's not
no
that
shade,
bad.
right?
Maybe just make the box green.
Make
like
it green.
to match.
Match. Yeah. I didn't realize. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just do that. So it's not as horrible. Actually, here, wait. Even better. Why don't I
Okay.
take the dropper
Oh,
and like you tell me that green
I mean, great.
better,
Yeah.
right? And maybe it's actually just a stroke, right? Instead of the full box or something. Is that better? The shadow? No, that's all right. We'll just leave the full box.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, you have these things laid out this way.
And again, it's all in one layer.
It's all
Here,
well.
on
It's
your
on your screen.
timeline.
Yeah, on your timeline.
Yeah,
right.
it's-
It exists as one.
So it's almost like that's your top composition, and then there's sort of like a breakdown going on.
Exactly.
I'm trying to translate this
Right.
for After Effects.
And then at this point, you're going, okay, I want to share this with Valentina so that she can, never use this one. And I'll choose to export it as a motion graphics template. We call this JLVV. Again, you can save it to locally to your machine, and that would be the Essential Graphics panel and everything. And that only gets saved like in your install on
Yeah.
your system there. Probably not ever really going to do that. I mean, you could. There's no reason not to, but if it's in the library, then it's, if I go to your studio and I'm editing,
Yeah.
like I can access all my stuff. Or if I have a shared library, then we can both access it. So
Great.
it just makes life a lot easier. So I'll save it to my JSON library, click OK on that. And now it's available to me whenever I want. You can see it's right here, as in all of its glory.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's just really simple. Now, somebody was just asking, let's see, if you stop using Adobe CC and it has updated your old software, will you lose the updates? Well, if
do they mean previous versions?
yeah, I'm not sure. If you mean previous versions, everything will still get installed. So you can, so again, today, now you don't have, you can keep 2017, you can keep previous versions of CC installed. In fact, when you go to update, you'll have an option. I think it's actually a drop-down. You have to select what you want to do. The thing is, if you're no longer, if you're asking, Elizabeth, if you stop subscribing, you won't lose updates, but you won't be able to actually launch the software.
The software, yeah.
Oh, it's probably our Wi-Fi is,
It's fine.
yeah. It's 12,000 people sharing the same Wi-Fi.
12,000 people?
12,000 plus people here at Adobe Max 2017, live from the Venetian in Las Vegas.
Whoa.
Right?
12,000 people?
12,000. Yeah.
That's a
It's the
lot.
biggest one
I
we've
did
ever
not
had,
think
yeah.
that was that many. Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks, Dave. He said that we're entertaining.
That's very nice. That was good. Was that a really sad hand clap? Again. Way better. Oh my God. Needed some sound. Okay. Jason. So it's super cool to have the stock site. Oh, whoops. But when is it going to get embedded into Premiere? Jason, funny you should ask that because it is.
Let's see it.
It's already here. So in libraries, you see that we have Search Adobe Stock. Now, again, I'm still using my Max just before released version. So let me just see. You should be able to search on Mogurt. And you can. And there it is. Go full screen or just make it bigger here for a second. Sorry.
Apostrophe.
Yeah. So you see that you
great.
have your
There's
filtered
mine.
search. Oh, and there's Valentina's
The
right
transition.
there. Right there. So cool. I'm going to
How
download that
amazing.
right now.
Yeah, please.
I'm going to grab Valentina's, and you see it says license and save, blue and white blocky text.
Free asset.
This asset is free.
You're welcome.
Click OK, and you'll see in just a moment we're going to be able to grab this and drag it into my timeline. And all I did was search on Mogurt. Now you can also search on, excuse me, oh, there it is. It's already in there. So let's search on like titles. Spell it correctly. Title. Okay.
Oh, there's another one.
There's another one of Valentina's.
I love
I'm going
seeing
to get
it.
that one too.
Thanks, Jason.
All right.
I'll never
Click
use
OK
it.
on
It's
that. So titles, backgrounds, transitions, lower third, all of these things are here. Now, the only reason you don't, or you probably, it's less elegant to search on them here, you don't get the Hover Scrub preview yet.
Okay. Yet?
Yet.
Ooh.
I don't have an ETA for you on that, but that is a likely thing that you will have. So that's the only thing. If you like to see all those cool animations, you've got to go to the site.
But then if you
at
already
present.
know like one that you want and you
Right.
can find it quickly.
So you know right now, if you download today's version and you go into libraries and search on Mogurt, M-O-G-R-T, you'll see transition, that's Valentina's. You can be grabbing it right now. So what I'm going to do, let's turn off my
Use it.
brilliant creation right there. I'm going to drag Valentina's in. Okay. And as mentioned now, whereas you have the fastest, latest, greatest MacBook Pro, I have a 3-year-old MacBook Pro here. This is what we were talking about. I love when this happens. So I didn't have
You didn't have Lato.
Lato Black. So I'm going to say, okay, Typekit, go ahead and resolve it for me. Sync fonts. And it says it's just going to take a moment to sync in the background, and you'll see the little dual arrow and the CC icon there. And that's it. So now if we, again, scrub forward, boom, there it is. Now I've got myself, I'm in 1/4 resolution, so it'll play back. But this is what I'm talking about. Notice it's instant real time because After Effects is built into Premiere now. So as fast as this would scrub in AE, it's going to scrub that way in Premiere as well.
That's great.
It's amazing. I might be able to get this.
And it's still like red, like you notice.
Right.
It's
oh
not
yeah.
at all rendered.
Right.
and
It's not rendered.
Playing through perfectly.
It's exactly.
This is great. But also, this is a really easy template. It doesn't have a lot.
It's an easy template, but
It
it's
doesn't
just.
have a lot of.
Yeah. Okay. So it's real simple, right? Your transition text, accent color, border. Oh, nice.
You know. I
That's
tried.
sweet. And then opacity. Oh, even better. All right. Drag that down.
What? Wait. Turn border on. Oh, that's it. Not for the last one. For the first one. So that's why it works.
Okay,
so if
got
you
it.
scroll forward, you'll be able to
Yes.
see it. There it
Yes.
is.
There we go.
I was worried for
Were
a
you
second.
tripping for a second there?
Just a little. I was like, no, what?
No.
I made these a while ago. That's why. I
No,
don't
but look at
really
that's
remember.
awesome.
Like perfect.
That already makes my video look 1,000 times better.
Yeah. So if you're just joining us, my graphics pack, it's not like I'm selling you on it because it's free. So I just want to give it. I just want to give it to you. But I made it. What is happening?
Yeah, don't mind this machine right
I
now.
made it just so that anybody can use it. It's really simple, really clean and
Yeah.
simple. So it's actually was hard for me to create something clean and simple because my aesthetic for graphics is very kitschy, and I just try to like cut things off.
Right.
I like try to throw like everything in there.
That's
and
right.
just-
And then kind of filter it
Back
back.
off.
Yeah, back off.
yeah, maybe I don't need like 30 different colors.
Right. So Elizabeth, again, so nothing but your files stay on your computer and you only have access to software while you're online. No. So you don't have to be online to use the software. And your files will stay wherever you have them. We don't move them. It's just a matter of if you're no longer subscribing, the software just won't launch. It'll say you need to have a subscription, some plan, individual application plan or whatever, to be able to just get into Premiere. It just won't fire up. But if you've got if you've got your projects stored locally or on a hard disk, we don't touch any of that.
Yep.
That's it. And your Creative Cloud storage, you'll still have. I want to say that number I don't remember. I think it's 2 gigs, whatever the standard is. Those files will still live locally, on your drive, whatever you've synced in there.
I do like that. One of my favorite features of Creative Cloud is that it backs up my project files on the cloud. Not everything as in my media, but just my project files. So if anything happens, my system gets corrupted, my laptop drops, whatever, it's there in the background and I can pull it again. There's an announcement.
Yeah, it just got very loud here for a second. Mark, hold on, I'm trying to find your question here. You've got 2 minutes. Oh, okay. Trying to
I hope you
scrub
guys
through.
are liking it, enjoying it.
And Valentina, again, thank you so much.
Oh my God,
for joining
it
us
is my
today.
pleasure. I'm so thankful. I was just I was telling Dacia this the other day. Like, the fact that you invite me to come talk is huge for me.
Right.
Because most people invite me to shoot or edit something,
right.
but like it's the brain thoughts.
We
That
want
matter.
your brain thoughts.
You want brain
Wow, it's rubbing off on her. Yeah. Well, we want your brain
Very
thoughts.
eloquent.
And we want you to
Brain
share your
thoughts.
brain thoughts with everybody. And Mark, yes, it appears. I don't know how the rendering compares. To be honest, I haven't done a side-by-side comparison.
What was this question?
AE and Premiere delayed rendering by hours compared to the pre-rendered AE to alpha MOVs. It's kind of very specific.
That's a lot to cover in a
I'd have to
minute.
get back to you on that, and you can ping me on Twitter, Mark, and I can try and find an answer for you. In any case, we're down to our last 30 seconds or so, I think, here. So for those of you who are attending Adobe Max, and maybe perhaps you're just taking a break and watching us on the stream, Valentina's got another class tomorrow, 3-hour workshop.
I have a 3-hour workshop tomorrow, and then I have 2 sessions on Friday, one in the morning and one in the evening.
Awesome.
75 minutes of me talking.
Sharing your brain
much like
thoughts.
this. Sharing my brain
Sharing
thoughts.
brain thoughts. And that is truly what Adobe Live is all about in a nutshell. Less than totally eloquent nutshell. It's been amazing having you join us today.
Thank you.
And I guess we'll be back. Are we the last one for the day? Is it for today? We got one more. Okay. So we got one more for today. Stick around, and we will see you guys next time. And in the meantime, I'm going to start using your templates and making my stuff look better.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Jason.
All right.